So I've got my plants growing more and more. It's really interesting, but I can't wait for them to actually get bigger so I can tell whether it's a weed or a plant. So this one doesn't have anything growing, but I planted several pear seeds and I planted a mandarin seed in the middle. So they're yet to come up if they come up at all. But this one was a surprise today because I realized there's some sort of black seed husk on something that has a pretty large leaf, and I'm like, what on earth is that? So I'm not sure. I did have two big seeds with the native bunches, and but I didn't write on the side of this that I planted it, so it must have already been in the pot or something. Um, but it has a nice big leaf, so I'd assume that it's possibly a flower or a tree, but I'm not actually sure what it is. It just came out of nowhere. It could even, and it's got a really big seed, and I'm like, I'm not sure what that is. But I did remember planting a couple of big seeds that were native. There's some sort of bush or tree. It could be that, but it could be anything else, because I'm pretty sure these, the blue and pink containers, they used to have, I did plant originally some rose seeds in them and stuff like that, so it could be anything yet. And this one is where I planted the, oh, my hat, the blueberry and the apple blossom. So that could be a blueberry or an apple blossom. And then I think all these strand things are grass, but I'm just letting them grow just in case they're not. You never know. This one's doing okay. These are probably just flowers, like marigolds or something. This is my replanted, what do you call it? It's some sort of indoor plant. It's like a, not a fern. I'll think of it later. I've said it many times. It's one of these. Whatever this is. These I'm not sure what on earth they are. They could be anything. It's in another recycled pot plant, but it says on the bottom a currant and a native fuchsia. So it could be a currant, it could be a fuchsia, it could be just a weed. No idea. The one that's on the side should be a currant, and maybe the one in the middle is a fuchsia. These are all native plants. These ones are in the, where it says a rosemary, a golden rosemary something, and this grass looking thing is growing in the one that should be a currant, and these ones at the back are something else. So I'm just letting them grow because I'm not sure if they're grasses or plants because they look like grass, and I'm like, oh, no idea. This is where I planted native plant seeds, so that's what that is. Some sort of native plant. This is where I put the what do you call it? The kiwi fruit seeds were in this one, so it's growing. This is where I planted a grape seeds. So I planted a couple of grape seeds, and these ones on the edges I would assume would be flowers, but I'm not sure. This one here is where I planted the blueberries. So that one on the edge there is blueberry. I would assume this is not. It's just grass. This is where I planted native tomatoes, so I would assume that's what they are. This is a fruit tree. It's a, what do you call it? Custard apple. So is that one custard apple? They're both custard apples. They're doing well. This is where I planted some tomatoes, and I dropped this. Container, which is why it's only 2/3 full. But the funniest thing is, I planted the tomato seeds so deep. They've been coming out, and they're doing well. So 3 now, 3 coming out. And I think this might be a rose, mini rose, but I'm not sure. I'm waiting for it to develop. And these were growing out of the bottom of this one, so once again, not sure. And these, I don't know. If they're not weeds, they're plants, native plants, I don't know. So I would say I've got a good range of items growing, and I've got like a heap of seed packets coming. So I will have a heap more seeds to plant later, but I just plant them bit by bit. Some of them seeds were coming to expire, and so I said, well, March is the season for planting seeds, and so I planted them probably June, and since in the greenhouse they should survive the winter anyways, and just see how they do. Doing well though, doing real well, so probably have a lot more bushes and plants to decorate with, and I know I've got like 50 seeds coming in the mail, so which has even more bushes and things to help landscape. I mean, they're all trees and bushes, but one of them I regret purchasing was this tree of paradise. It's not a native tree, so it kind of just stands out as a tropical tree that extends quite widely. But it needs a lot of space. It needs probably this whole lot of space here, and it could be planted here, but it just doesn't look good amongst natives. So you would grow it and be like, ideally it's a 3 by 3 meter bush, but I think that's a stunted version of a much larger tree, so I think it can expand beyond 3 by 3 meters, but it's a really skinny, pretty tree, but it's for tropics, and I just bought it just in case anyone wants a pretty tree, but I think probably not. I mean, my original thought was we've been looking for trees and things that can hang over the driveway a little, and I thought, well, if it's wide and 3 by 3 meters, you could have one here and one on the other side. You know, you could have a couple, up to 4 maybe, but it's just that kind of annoying tree that doesn't fit in with anything that looks like this, so it might not be used. But I also got some purple landscaping bushes, so that could be used. So whether you plant them around a tree or use them as a hedge or whatnot, I don't know, but I also got some bushes and small bushes, like edible fruit bushes that native Aborigines used to have. But I don't really like native Aborigine bushes. I just thought, because my parents are like always talking about, I want native everything, I thought, well, these are native. They're the ones that native Aborigines usually eat, but I find some of their foods are just inedible. So this one that I bought, which is like some sort of peach, I forget the name of it, but I have a feeling that that's not a very good bush for me to eat, so I'd probably be better off with whatever's normal, like normal peach, normal apricots, and just stick with just the normal fruits, because I like them better than the native Aborigine fruits. But to have a bush or two around, I mean one bush maybe, would be interesting, but I'm not really gonna eat them, I don't think. It's just the inspiration to have native bush. But I like this kind of, I got some grass trees too, you know. I bought some grass trees. Grass trees would do very well, I believe. Like if you had a couple of grass trees every now and again around here at the front, where there needs to be a little bit more decoration or bush anyways, or the second or third paddock, I don't know. But I bought these lovely little grass trees. They don't grow too big, and so if I grow maybe 1 or 2 seeds of each, because I got one that grows kind of like palmish looking, but it's a grass tree, it just grows a bit taller. Then the stunty ones that I like him come off of like a little bit Mexican, like there's a Mexican grass tree, it's like that, but it's not Mexican, it's Australian. So yeah, I got a couple little grass trees and see how they do, but I can imagine that they do well because this is very good soil. It looks like they would fit right in to this landscape. I think grass trees are the best idea, but my favorite tree is the grass fern that you get from Bunnings. It's like $110 or so. And I'm like, that is one of my favorite ferns. I'm like, let's buy 3 of those. But you can only buy one and then, learn how to regraft it or so. But spending $100 is what some people never do on a tree. But it's the loveliest little. It's my favorite grass tree. Like, it's my favorite thing. So, but I'm not going to buy it for this place because once this place gets sold, everything gets, taken out anyway, so that it's like this. So I'm just chucking in all the cheap stuff that I can buy online. So, $50 worth of, I actually paid $30 worth of stuff, and that should be enough. I mean, that should clutter it, because we need more cluttering. Need a little bit more just landscaping. I also bought pansy flowers and a few different types of flowers, but what I want is an apricot tree and a peach tree, because we don't have either one of those. And it's like, but I'm trying to grow a mandarin and a pear right now, but eventually it's going to be like peach and apricot too, because they're two trees that you need and we don't have them. And I want to collect seeds from a lime from a lime, and just see if I can grow a tree, because limes is also something that we don't have. We did have a lime tree, but the other person was cutting it down so much it died. So because they're like, oh, it's not growing enough, snip, 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 snip. And then, it was kind of like a healthy looking runted bushy thing. And then she's like, that's not, it's just growing leaves and not fruit. So she's like, snip, snip, snip. And then it's like, now it's just, the stick is dead. So it was alive. And I was looking to see if it would grow limes in the future, but just keep snipping it until it's dead. And it's like, you didn't need to die. You just freaking buy a new little sapling and or grow it from seed and plant a new one somewhere else or whatever. So mentality sometimes is like, but we need more lemon trees, we need more lime trees, we need an apricot tree, a peach tree, and then that should be. And if the mandarin tree grows, that's a seedless mandarin, so that has very few seeds, so it's not completely seedless, otherwise I wouldn't have. And down here is my growing sprout of what do you call them? Daffodils. I've got two there. I thought there was a third one somewhere, but I don't see it. I planted like 6 or 7 seeds, so I've got 2 growing, and others might come up in time, but